You know, I've been thinking, maybe we shouldn't be adding AI into our toasters or helicopters on our motorcycles. Like, isn't that stuff ridiculous? Dude, being ridiculous is just a step in the innovation process. We only learn when we try new things, and part of that process is doing things that are silly in retrospect.
Here at day 2 of CES, today we are going to take a look at the most promising things we can find instead of the most ridiculous, although they will definitely kind of overlap. Oh, it's a nano filter that filters oil from water. Whoa. Never thought about children-sized exoskeletons, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's use cases for that. That's amazing. Now, this is something I never thought I'd see. It's not just a transparent display, not just a 3D display, but a transparent 3D display, which is actually kind of wild. There is a little eye tracker down there so it can see where exactly you're looking to make it look like it's actually 3D. I always talk about this with transparent stuff. Is it useful? I don't really know. Is it cool? Heck yeah, it is. Again, something I've never even thought of, electric assisted skis. Does that help with like those flat sections? Can you tell me a little bit about how the electric assist works?
Yeah.
Oh, so the belt runs and then moves along the ground?
You can go 2 times faster.
Okay, so you take it off while you're going downhill.
And then you have a normal ski.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so my assumption was a little wrong. You're supposed to, disassemble it, take out the battery when you're going downhill. They say you can go twice as fast uphill. Imagine how fast you could go downhill. Check this out. This is the Delto Gripper DG5F. So this guy has a glove on and all the fingers are moving this robotic hand. How far can they be apart from each other?
We don't have the exactly distance.
Oh, okay. Right now it's like corded together. It's plugged together.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Fidelity of that thing's crazy. That guy was like holding up a business card. Finally, RGB treadmills. That's what I've been waiting for. I honestly thought this was a Razer treadmill at first glance. I don't want to freak anyone out, but I think CES is haunted. Hello? Is anyone there? Low-key, one of the coolest places to come at CES is John Deere with all of their farming equipment improvements. So what's new here from last year is that there's a brand new camera system up top and actually a computer system in back. Here's a closer look at the cameras itself, which are all at the top of the tractors. And the cool thing that John Deere is doing is that they're taking that whole system, those cameras and those computers, and applying it across many different verticals. One that's really cool is lawnmowers, their very first autonomous grass cutter. Now, this is not commercially available right now, but they are starting to test it and hoping for it to be available in the next coming years. This smart device contains no battery. Instead, it is an indoor solar cell that gets power just from lights. You don't even need the sun. So inside of here, they have this specially printed cell that can absorb energy from lights and turn it into, well, power for low power devices. See how this fan is spinning? It's just attached to this, which is getting it from the light. That kind of blows my mind. It seems like there's a lot of use cases that could benefit from that. Internet of Things devices, especially, that don't want to be plugged into something or need to be recharged a lot. Now that's the future. Dude, I should get one of those. Dude, check this out. Wearable-based saliva mouthguard biosensors. Can you imagine an athlete that wears this inside of their mouthguard and you can track all of the different performance metrics? Seems kind of cool. I'm actually surprised that there aren't more smart mouthguards. Is that a thing? I know nothing about this company, but Elixir is a great name for a health tech company. Let's find out what it actually does. Hi. Are you with it's a glucose reader that doesn't involve pricking your finger, just scans your skin. Sounds a lot less invasive to me, assuming it works. That's how I feel about all these health tech companies. It's like, yeah, it sounds awesome if it works. Maybe I'm scarred by Theranos or something like that, All right, I found something that is also truly ridiculous. Have you ever seen a laptop that can physically clean itself? Well, this is the new Omen Max 16, and not only does it rock the latest Intel Core Ultra processors and RTX 50 series GPUs, they've also totally revamped the cooling mechanisms to keep up with all of these components. Let's take a look at a breakdown, shall we? Here on the CPU and GPU, they've applied this new thicker liquid metal thermal paste that supposedly is less viscous than anything else on the market to further prevent leaking while maintaining the high thermal conductivity that we come to expect from liquid metal. And on top of that, Omen and Intel have co-engineered these fans that can now automatically reverse their direction to dislodge and prevent dust buildup. All of this attention to thermals is going to be super important because, well, not only does this have to keep up with up to an Intel Core Ultra 9 275HX and an RTX
RTX 5090 on a 240Hz screen. There is also a new Unleashed mode, which allows the laptop to draw power from both the wall outlet and the battery at the same time, which I've never seen before, meaning that overclocking on this is going to be nuts. Which might sound overwhelming, but don't worry, Omen and NVIDIA are making overclocking so much more approachable with the help of Omen AI, which has the ability to automatically tweak game settings, hardware settings, and OS settings to optimize your frame output. It's like a total of 60 quadrillion settings combinations that can result in up to a 100+ FPS increase and should be compatible with about a dozen games or so at launch, with more obviously being added on in the future. Now, I'll get my hands on a review model to put this to the actual test a little later on, so stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, a huge thanks to Omen and Intel for sponsoring this video. I'll leave some more information about all of this stuff in the description down below. Check out this drone that can clean windows way up high. Hypothetically, it needs to be attached to like a hose, right? I guess it can't go up super high, but still, cool concept. Although, I guess it just sprays it doesn't like wipe it clean. My favorite part of CES, Eureka Park, which is essentially where a bunch of people come and share off their research and prototypes. So these are not currently being marketed as commercial products. They are simply really interesting ideas that, well, we're still trying to figure out. AI-powered cane. That's fascinating. Apparently it has built-in obstacle avoidance. I don't understand how people keep coming up with things that I've just never even thought about. It's so cool. Whoa.
Defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
Yay!
You can see here, it's a camera,
Oh,
AI
it can
camera.
spin and it can pass to.
Yeah, you can.
I can move
you
around
know,
and it'll pass to me.
Yeah.
Whoa!
You can know where
I can think of a few people off the top of my head that would absolutely love something like this. All right, guys, we're getting massaged on a table. Normally, you lay on your stomach for a massage, but now you're laying on your back, so you have your entire body weight pushing into these little knobs. Pegs were just pushing up. I don't think this is ridiculous at all. I do like this. Is an all-terrain skateboard the most ridiculous thing that we'll see today at CES Day 2? Well, let's find out, because this is pretty darn ridiculous. I love it here. These Honda cars are something else. They almost look like retro-futuristic, you know what I mean? This, of course, is the Honda Zero Saloon. Right next to it, the Honda Zero SUV. Looks equally as cool, maybe a little more spacious. And also, is it just me, or does the Honda logo look like a bit wider at the top? Is that normal? Don't ever talk to me or my son ever again, said the fully electric excavators. It's actually cool they have a tiny one, and it's not even just like for show. It's currently available in Japan, so that's kind of sweet. I would love to see it used. I kind of want to use one myself. Let's see what our friends Aper are up to. They brought a whole entire pool to CES. Now that I'm thinking about it, BattleBots underwater would be crazy cool. Ah, that's going down, they're fighting. Now, I have used Aper products. They do clean pools super well. They do things that I wouldn't want to do, so. Whoa, is that a smart tee? Is it like a baseball tee? This apparently is the Auto Bat EX. Real-time hitting analytics. I want to see if we can get a demo. Whoa. The sensors are also cool, but they're not tied to the tee. They're sensors up there, kind of like a golf simulator. Every time I come here, like sports tech always blows me away. I love this stuff. This is an all-terrain flying drone. Oh my gosh. That thing looks intense. An electric garbage truck. Let's figure out how this thing charges.
Your electric car.
Oh, right in front. Whoa, that's wild. Oh, that's amazing. Why are trucks so cool? Like fire engines? That one's a hybrid, so not fully electric. And the reasoning is because with the trash collector, it's a much more like regular and scheduled route, much more like predictable route. Whereas for the fire engine, it might have to stay at a house longer to put out a fire. So if it's quick, it can be fully electric, but it has that backup in case they need to stay longer and longer. See big trucks, brain go good. I like how this sign just says robot, and inside the case, yep, that's a robot. 5G, camera-enabled, AI, cat litter box. What do you think cats think of all this AI stuff? Think they like it? I always wondered how long it takes for cats to get used to something like this. I got my dog like one of those water bowls that has like a moving water and a fountain, and he's like terrified of it. I'm sure he would get used to it eventually, but like that's a big change for a cat, right? Very habitual creatures. If you're a germaphobe, you're about to love this. Imagine that's your bathroom stall handle. This little device here, which can just get stickered onto the stall itself, disinfect every single time someone uses it. And then after a little while, it should open back up. It's hard to imagine that piece of tech installed like everywhere inside of a building, but a hospital would be a pretty decent place to start. I honestly cannot wait for haptic suits to become more mainstream. All right, yeah, racing demo, okay. Ooh. Oh, I'm getting a massage.
Uh-oh. Oh. What's the MSRP of them? 250 bucks? If they could get the haptics down to like normal clothing that you would want to wear instead of it feeling like you're wearing a vest, because it did, I think that would be amazing. Also, if you get crushed in a video game, I do think the haptic suit should crush you in real life. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed in the lack of toilet tech here at CES 2025. Maybe we've plateaued with toilet tech.